We're back to the whiskey vault with no Rex and Compass Box, and it's all... Oh.
So, look, there's like 15% of the people that do not like me that you get their hopes up.
Oh, yeah.
You really
False
do.
hopes.
Right, and they're like, yes, fine. Oh, son of a bitch.
Okay, people who don't like Rex, let me just put it this way. Without Rex, this channel would still have 500 viewers. And all of us nerds could hang out together.
Nerd!
So,
Daniel Whittington, you magnificent bastard! He insisted on this.
yeah, I chose my own whiskey.
He said,
I really wanted to drink this on camera.
No other whiskeys. I must have this whiskey.
This is Compass Box
Never heard of them.
Phenomenology.
Phenomena.
Otherwise known as...
Phenomena.
Ba-ba-ba-da-da.
Phenomena.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba.
Phenomena. Phenomena.
So their quote on this is, phenomenology is a way of thinking about ourselves and the very personal subjective nature of experience.
Well, come on now.
It's a school of thought in psychology that focuses on the experiences we get from our senses.
No, already, I haven't even smelled it. This is strike one, phenomena. I drink whiskey, so I don't feel and think.
They were mixing together a bunch of single malts, combining dissonant flavors. So they were looking at things going, there's no way these should be working together. And so they started pouring. So this is the definition of third gravitating body whiskey. A bunch of things that should not work together. But when they poured them together, they created this weird, interesting new experience.
7,908 bottles. Limited release.
And he said every person who tasted this took something different away from the whiskey. No one could agree on what was happening with the whiskey. And so they just left it that way. Now, I can tell you, they also gave that this is 72% Glenlawsie Distillery, 24.5% Tamdu, which we have right there, 2% Highland Park, 1% Talisker, and 0.5% Cahuilla. I'm really excited about this because this is the kind of blend I would have tried to create, where I got to include Highland Park, Talisker, Cahuilla,
Yeah.
along with the Speyside whiskeys.
Yeah.
They really wouldn't give any flavor descriptions other than berries, a little bit of peat, all the things that you would obviously find in a blend of sherry finished whiskeys and peaty whiskeys.
Red apple and brine. I get red apple and brine.
Yep. You can definitely find the Cahuilla.
And then,
It's like a pie, but not an apple pie. Some other kind of pie. Like a peach pie? No.
I'm getting a sugar.
Rhubarb.
Rhubarb.
Bop a rhubarb pie.
Just, God, mother.
I did go and try a rhubarb pie the other day because
Strawberries.
I'd never had rhubarb pie and I decided it was time.
Strawberries.
You're getting strawberries?
On the rhubarb pie.
Oh.
Tastes like strawberries, damn it.
I love this, but I love everything Compass Box has ever done.
Joe Bloggins. People are just, they are really adamant about their rhubarb tasting differently than what I say is strawberries. Joe Bloggins. The Glen Britton 10
Yes.
deserves its own video purely for the you Glenora gave to the pretentious at the SWA.
That's right.
Speaking of opinions.
I know. It's totally true. You remember the story that Glen Bretton got sued by the Scottish Whisky Association? Because Glen Bretton was like, you can't have your name be Glenora.
Yeah, Glen.
People will think that it's a Scottish whiskey. You're like, dude, our territory is called Nova Scotia. That's New Scotland.
Way in the back, I'm getting like a rich leather note. All right.
Dusty, almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, Glenora is maybe one of the only people who's won against the Scottish Whisky Association. Did you know Scottish Whisky Association dropped the hammer on Diageo for India whiskey and nearly shut down a couple of distilleries because they were making Scottish-style whiskey and they were not comfortable with how they were being labeled. Diageo had to redo a whole bunch of stuff down there. It's the most powerful neighborhood association in the world.
You are the only person I allow into my life that gets chubbed up for compliance issues.
No, I get chubbed up. I can't say that word. I get chubbed up about weird, interesting stories involving the intricacies.
This is our name. You can't have that
industry.
name. That name is like sounds like it's from our country, so that's not cool. Well, I'm gonna do it because I wanna. Well, you shouldn't, and I'm gonna make sure.
Well, I'm gonna.
Yeah, and then it's just people with money having.
Just try and stop me.
It's people with money having that fight. That's all it is. And then people write articles about it. Eric Taylor. Daniel.
Don't use that voice. It creeps me out, man.
It's what
I get flashbacks.
It's right here.
I get flashbacks.
It says, when you describe a nose as bright, are you referring to that tinny high you get from the alcohol content, or are you describing the whole nose experience as a bright one versus a dark one?
Yes.
Just trying to wrap my head around definitions and correct terminology. Semi-new to the tasting. Thank you.
So first things first, there are no correct terminology. The only reason that tasting notes exist is to communicate what you're experiencing to someone else. So if the word you choose doesn't communicate, chubbed up. Those are wrong words. Right? Yeah. The idea is, and the people you're standing in front of them, if you can't explain to them what you're experiencing, that's tasting notes.
And you are more likely to use words that connect with somebody if you have some shared history or background, culturally speaking.
Yeah.
If they're from the other side of the planet,
and
they have different memories of flavors and experiences, then it's going to be much harder for them to find exactly what you're referring to in a whiskey. You got plum?
Plum, try plum. Not cooked, but like fresh plum. Like, get a bite of plum.
Is this a sherry cask type of deal?
Highland Park is in here.
Okay. Because I definitely get that note on the back.
So here's what I mean by bright. What I mean is sharp, sparkly, light, as opposed to like the heavy smoky or the heavy sherried whiskeys.
Yeah.
Those to me feel dark. And a lot of times when bright, I get grain whiskeys in bright, right? If you were looking at it for something you'd probably know, if you go to herbs, because everyone can go to the grocery store and try this. A dark herb would be rosemary. Mm-hmm. Dense, heavy. A bright herb would be mint or parsley. That's the difference between bright and dark in my brain for smells.
Sure.
All right, here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight, I like this, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
It's
a winner.
May you fight for friend.
If you steal, may you steal lover's heart.
You drink, may you drink with us.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us in the Whiskey Vault. Don't forget to throw in a like, hit that subscribe button on the bottom right, and drop a question or comment down below.